Good afternoon. I just watched the first two episodes of The Walking Dead, Dead City, and it's okay. Now, basis of the story is her son got nicked as a ransom to make sure his ransom is to make sure she sends grain to Manhattan. Spoilers. I just said some spoilers out. Anyway, so she finds out that it's a dude called the Croat. I didn't know what was meant by Croat. I was like, what kind of a crap name is that? Yeah. And I didn't know until you first see the Croat that because I have subtitles on, it says speaking Croatian. So I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what that is. What kind of fucking name is Croat? Well, building on from the chemistry that Negan and Maggie have, I assume they just was like, everyone loves their chemistry, why not add to it? You know they're gonna hate fuck, right? Well, that's my prediction anyway. I feel like that's where it's gonna go, or maybe they'll just have a grudging respect. Even though I'm pretty sure Negan respects Maggie, or Maggie sort of respect. I think they sort of grudgingly respect each other anyway. So the first one sees Maggie hunting down Negan and this new girl, daughter figure, Ginger, something like that. Right, I sort of missed this, but what happened to Negan's last wife and his unborn daughter in the end of the series? I completely missed that. I watched it, but I must have missed it. Must have got bored. So he's chasing and finding him up at a sort of. They end up fighting, and she sort of captures them or Negan agrees to come with her in exchange for protection and like a place for him and Jenny, something beginning with G. Well, they find out that Negan's being chased by these people called deputies, what are they? Marshals from New Babylon. New Babylon's like a city in ancient times, right? And it was, from the Stargate it said the sacking of Babylon. I'm not really sure, I don't really know what it is. All I know is that it was a city and it didn't end up very well. So that's a new storyline. This one guy's starts off with three marshals, two marshals, one trainee. They end up chasing and fighting, and they end up crossing to get into Manhattan, which is where they were headed. And the story arc is good for it. I think it's got a lot. They've got that whole wait and see what happens. You gotta wait and see what happens in the next one. But it was interesting in the first one when they cross over. Is like a lot of the groaners, they call them, are falling from the rooftops, and that's different. Plus, one of the groaners had like this big tongue, sort of like like really weird. And that ended up not going well for one of the guys. In the second one, you find out a bit more about Croat and who he was with Negan. He was like his very nasty person. He would be the dude that gets the information out of people, which is illegal nowadays. You know what I mean? And they ended up splitting. Well, Negan ended up putting out a hit on him because of what he did to a young kid who was a scout for Kingdom before Maggie's time. Negan and Maggie end up with this crew of rivals to the Croats lot. Pretty sure there's one of the coolest things is they've all got biker helmets on with sharp stuff on, and when only one of the marshals is left, he gets caught in a trap and he gets loosed, and the Croat is headbutting all the groaners, walkers. Both names are bad, but yeah, that's a good way to introduce yourself. Anyway, that's the first two episodes. They're good. It's going well. I'm looking forward to the final episode of Daryl next week, but I'll either watch one or two again tomorrow. Toodles.